Once upon a time, there was a young man who carried a dream bigger than himself. His name was Caden, and from the time he was a little boy, he had dreamed of becoming a great swordsman. But Caden's path to greatness was not an easy one. There were times when the weight of his dream felt unbearable, when the journey seemed too long and the obstacles too high. There were moments when the only thing keeping him going was the faint glimmer of hope in his heart. If you are facing a challenging period in your life right now, know that you're not alone. Life has a way of testing our limits, of pushing us to the brink where giving up feels like the only option. But here's the secret. True strength is not found in never falling, but in rising again and again. It's in these moments of despair that our true character is forged, our resilience tested, and our determination refined. You might be going through a tough time right now. Maybe you've been working tirelessly toward a goal only to face yet another setback. Or maybe you feel like you read just one failure away from giving up. But let me tell you something. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every struggle, a testament to your enduring spirit. You have overcome challenges before, and you will do so again. Remember, it's not the absence of struggles that defines success, but the courage to face them and rise above them. Caden knew this better than most. As a young boy, he had dreamed of becoming a legendary swordsman, but his path to greatness was fraught with obstacles. He came from humble beginnings, born into a small village that was known more for its sheep than its warriors. Despite his dream, he wasn't blessed with natural talent or privileged training. In fact, when he started his training at the local dojo, he was considered a late bloomer. Other kids had started training as toddlers, learning the ways of the sword from their fathers or older brothers. But for Caden, his dream had been ignited by a wandering samurai who had visited the village one day, and since then, he had been determined to make that dream a reality. He trained relentlessly, honing his skills day in and day out. Yet despite his hard work, he struggled to match the skill of his peers. They would easily disarm him, their techniques swift and precise. Disheartened, he would return home, his heart heavy with discouragement. The road ahead seemed longer, the goal more distant. There were times when the weight of his dream felt unbearable, when the journey seemed too long and the obstacles too high. There were moments when the only thing keeping him going was the faint glimmer of hope in his heart. Then one day, during a particularly grueling practice, his sword slipped from his grasp and landed at the feet of his rival. Kenzo, who had always been kind, offered him a helping hand. "Don't give up, Caden," he said. "You have what it takes." But deep down, Caden questioned whether he really did. That evening, as he stared at the flickering flames of his hearth, he thought about giving up. The dream that had once burned brightly within him seemed to dim. Was Kenzo right? Did he really have what it takes? As the days turned into weeks, Caden found himself growing disheartened. His dream of becoming a legendary swordsman seemed to slip further and further away. The thought of never achieving his goal, of being remembered as just another failed dreamer, was a bitter pill to swallow. But amidst the gloom, a single ember of hope refused to be extinguished. One day, as Caden was walking through the forest, lost in his thoughts, he stumbled upon an old, weathered hut. Curiosity piqued. He decided to investigate. To his surprise, he found a wizened old man sitting inside. "Why are you here?" the old man asked, his voice raspy with age. Caden hesitated, unsure how to respond. He had come seeking guidance, but hadn't dared to hope that he would actually find it. "I am looking for someone who can help me become stronger," he said finally, his voice barely a whisper. The old man regarded him for a long moment, his gaze sharp and penetrating. "Strength does not come from physical prowess alone," he said at last. "It comes from within." Caden frowned, confused by the old man's cryptic words. What did he mean? Surely becoming a powerful swordsman required more than just inner strength. It demanded skill, technique, and discipline. Wasn't that why he had been training so hard all this time? The old man seemed to read his thoughts. "Those are important, yes," he said, "but they are not enough. True strength is born when we rise again. It is in the struggles that we face, the challenges that we overcome, that our true power is forged." Caden looked at the old man, his eyes wide with wonder. Could it be that the answer he had been seeking was hidden within the very struggles he had been trying to escape? The old man smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "There is a warrior who has achieved greatness without ever wielding a sword," he said. "A warrior who has conquered fear itself and emerged stronger because of it." Intrigued, Caden asked, "Who is this warrior?" "It is you," the old man replied. "You already possess the strength you seek. You just need to believe in yourself." With renewed determination, He began to see his struggles not as burdens, but as stepping stones on his path to greatness. Each challenge he faced, each obstacle he overcame added another layer of strength to his being. He learned that true power lay not in the absence of struggles, but in the courage to face them and rise above them. Years passed and Kaiden's legend began to grow. He became known not just as a great swordsman, but as a beacon of hope and inspiration to all who knew him. He had achieved his dream, not because life had been easy for him, but because he had refused to surrender in the face of adversity. Now, if you're feeling like giving up right now, take a moment to remember Kaiden's story. Ask yourself, is this really the end, or is it just the beginning of your greatest victory? You see, life is like a vast ocean, full of unexpected storms and treacherous waves. But just as a sailor who navigates the rough seas becomes a better sailor, you can emerge stronger from your current challenges. Every obstacle you conquer adds to your strength, making you more resilient and wise. Right now, you might be facing your own personal storm, feeling like you're drowning in a sea of difficulties. But remember, you are not alone. We've all been there before. The trick is to keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, to hold fast to hope and to refuse to give up. Just like Kaiden, you have the strength within you to weather any storm. You might be wondering how you can keep going when it seems like the whole world is against you. Well, here's the secret. Find your inner strength. That inner voice that tells you that even though it hurts right now, it doesn't mean you're broken. Use the pain as fuel, the doubts as motivation, and the fears as stepping stones. Let the struggles you face today be the stepping stones to the success you dream of tomorrow. Remember, a ship in port is safe from the storm, but that's not what ships are for. Similarly, it's okay to take a break and rest when things get tough, but don't stay there too long. Setbacks and failures are not the end of your story, they're just chapters in it. So pick up your pen and write a new chapter. One that talks about how you faced the darkness and came out stronger on the other side. And here's the beautiful part. When you finally reach your dreams, when you look back at the journey you've traveled, you'll realize that it was worth every struggle, every tear, every moment of self-doubt. Success is not just about reaching the destination. It's about the person you become along the way. So go out there and chase your dreams, knowing that the road ahead might be long and arduous. But with hope in your heart and courage in your steps, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve anything you set your mind to. Remember, the greatest victories are won not by those who avoid the battle, but by those who face it head-on. Don't let the temporary pain of facing your fears eclipse the joy of living a life true to yourself. Embrace the struggle, for it is in the struggle that you will find your true strength. And as you look back on your journey, you'll realize that the scars you once thought were marks of defeat are actually badges of honor, testaments to your enduring spirit and unyielding pursuit of excellence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content.